Hey y'all, Chito Fahadings here to talk about Hollyland's Lark 150 wireless microphone. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know I'm not great with sound. In fact, I'm pretty bad at it, as many comments point out. I started with a camera mic, and then I moved to an on-camera shotgun mic, then learned that a lav would do a better job, upgraded to a lav that recorded to my phone, making for a super annoying workflow, and then I moved up to Rode's Wireless Go. And now I'm testing the Lark against it. You are hearing the Lark right now. Hollyland has sent me the mic to test it out, but they didn't get to see the video before you, nor had any input on what I'm going to say. The tough part is, I'm not a sound person. I'm not gonna pretend to be a connoisseur of such dark arts. And I'm gonna look at this mic from my perspective of someone who wants to know just the bare minimum and still get great results. Like what a lot of folks do for anamorphic, but for sound. I just want it to work. So this review will focus on how intuitive it is to work with this gear and how much, if any, tinkering is required. The Lark costs $280 at B&H, and I was impressed by how many extras this thingy comes with. For comparison, the Rode Go cost me $225 back in November, and it comes in a little bag with one transmitter, one receiver, one aux cable, two USB cables, and a little muff for the microphone. I've been following Caleb Pike's suggestions of how to rig it under my shirt since then, but I've gotten notes that a closer mic would give me a better result. The Rode Go 2 is out now, and it's more comparable to the Lark 150, but it's also slightly pricier at $299 US. Jumping back to the Lark, its extras include two lav microphones, an aux cable that goes to your camera or recorder, and a cable just for your phone, a USB to Type-C cable to charge the case, and a pair of little muffs. I stuff all of these inside the cloth bag that also comes with it. The actual electronics come in a small hard case that has a snappy lid and stays closed even if I shake it really hard. The box is the charging station for everything in this kit, and it reminds me of the case for my Bluetooth earbuds, except this one works while my earbuds don't. It's kind of like AirPods, but with microphones. Once we open it, we get to the good stuff. We have the two transmitters or mics and the receiver in the case. If you press any buttons, the receiver lights up in its case mode, giving you the battery levels for everything, including the charging case, which has its own internal battery to recharge the system if you're away from a power outlet. The batteries for each transmitter last 4.5 hours, and I don't think I've shot this long of an interview. This battery life rules out narrative films usage though, where 12-hour shoots are standard. For my videos here on YouTube, these are great. When making this content, we usually have about an hour of actual microphone runtime. If I need more time, since I'm the only one talking, I can quickly swap one transmitter and let the other one charge in the case. The receiver lasts 7.5 hours, which is better, but still not long enough for a regular shoot day. As soon as I get these miniaturized thingies out of the case, everything connects on its own, and this is such a relief. The last thing I want is to be fiddling with channels on tiny screens. For me, it's also a huge bonus that the transmitters have only one button, which is a power/mute button. The transmitter itself is also a microphone by default, but the internal mic can be switched over to anything else you plug in as an external mic, like the provided lavs. The receiver has two little knobs to control the level of each mic and to quickly mute them. All transmitters and receivers have a clip that you can use to attach to clothes, objects, stretchy bandages, and it also fits on a camera shoe mount. This way, I can easily mount the receiver on the camera and run the cable from the line out into the camera's mic input. The other side of the receiver has a slot for headphones, so you can monitor sound directly from here. The default recording mode is mono, which is mixing both inputs on the same audio track. If I'm using only one mic, that's great. If I'm using two mics, I'd prefer to record on stereo, with each mic on a separate track. To switch modes, just press and hold one of the volume dials. That'll first go to a mode called ST-6, which gets the input from both mics and throws them on almost identical tracks, with one of them being 6 decibels lower than the other. So if one of these mics clips, you'll have some protection on the other track. That's pretty neat. If I press and hold this knob again, it goes to stereo mode. Easy enough. This is actually when I noticed the color scheme. Each transmitter has a power light, and by looking closely, you'll see that there are actually different shades of blue. These colors match the controls on the receiver and help you figure out which mic is which. My biggest suggestion for Hollyland here is to make these colors radically different instead of teal and blue. Like use yellow or orange or something else that won't involve any second guessing. Now for the sake of comparison, we're recording this whole video using the Lark, which you are hearing right now. And now we're gonna switch over to the Rode Go. My lackluster audio knowledge only gets me to say that they both sound pretty good, and I cannot tell one apart from the other if I'm just listening to them. But if you're an audio person, you might be able to notice something that I don't from these clips. So please leave a comment in case that happens. What do I like about this microphone kit? Having it all in one case that charges the gear is great. The extras are also welcome, plus not having to deal with manually connecting anything is gold. Having a good sounding 2-lav wireless kit for this price is something I did not expect to see when I was in film school 10 years ago. Wireless lavs costed a fortune and guzzled AA batteries like crazy, and there was always a ton of interference. So much interference. That's my main memory of it. So this thing has a pretty intuitive and automated approach for setup and use, and that's a big score for me. Now I can easily record 2 people interviews already synced with video by feeding the receiver into a camera. This saves me money from buying an external recorder and time from synchronizing video and audio later. So I like this thing, and that's gonna be the mic that I'll be using forward, at least for a little while. What are your thoughts about it? I'd love to read them in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you next week. Chita Verhardings, out.